A sequel to Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, set 2 years after the novel ends. Miss Bennet, Christmas at Pemberley, continues the story of the Bennet sisters, focusing on middle sister Mary. The play is now on stage at American Stage in St. Petersburg, and I'm joined today by actors Jenny Lester and Sadie Lockhart. Good morning, ladies.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
So I'm so interested. My first question was, how long has this been out? I had no idea that there was a sequel, and I was glad to hear that it is relatively new. That's why I hadn't heard of it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's an imagined sequel to Pride and Prejudice. Playwright Lauren Gunderson penned it, and it's sort of her comeuppance for, or not comeuppance, but it's her sequel for Mary Bennet, the middle sister. And
so you said in the first one, I couldn't really remember her much because there wasn't a lot really said about her.
The whole book and the whole everything is like she was always reading. Like, and that's pretty much all you ever hear about her. So this is her moment in the sun.
Okay.
And it's really a story about like love and family all the way around.
Centered around Christmas. I understand this is this is taking on stage across the country, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of theaters all across the country that are performing it this year, and there's a lot of hype about it because it's a story about love and about sisters, and it's really great holiday classic and about the strength of women. And
this is written by a woman too, right?
Yeah,
two women.
Yeah,
it's written by two women.
And we were so lucky to be directed by Stephanie Gallart, who runs American Stage. She's also a woman, so it's just been like a lot of like female Christmas empowerment.
I love that.
Very cool.
You say there's a lot of Easter eggs in this as well, so explain how that works.
Yeah, well, because a lot of people are self-proclaimed Austenites and love Pride and Prejudice and know everything about it. So if you do, there's little things that are for those fans in this show that are totally connected to the original novel. But if you don't know it, you're going to have just as much fun because it's just delightful for everyone. But if you are a real hardcore Austenite, you'll love this.
What is the main storyline of this one, by the way? I don't know if we actually said that. Is it easy to kind of condense a little bit for us?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Mary Bennet, the middle sister, who they all join at Pemberley, Mr. Darcy's estate, 2 years post Pride and Prejudice. And Mary has sort of changed and blossomed and come into her own, and
is she looking for love?
She's not looking for it, but it falls on her, which is what's so nice. And it's really nice because it's about how she has this big life that she wants to live, and she finds someone who also wants to live a big life, and they're able to come at that together, as opposed to they're both searching desperately for love.
Well, and it's so interesting because it's a time period piece, right? But yet people still love it. I mean, there's modern day themes. I think we can all relate to what, do you marry for love? I mean, it's very relevant today. I would assume this story has to be as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one thing I love about Pride and Prejudice and this story is the concept of marrying for love over marrying for money, or who you're told you should marry, or who society says you should marry. So there's that underlying tone throughout it as well. And there's also a really great statement about women and about the different personalities of the Bennet sisters. There's a really great line that we have towards the end of the show of a bit of each of us would make quite a woman indeed. And then somebody else says, wouldn't that be a force to be reckoned with? And so it's really about cherishing each of their individual characteristics and lifting that up and saying, we're empowered women, and here's a really great love story about who we care about.
Oh, absolutely. I do love that. Hey, as we wrap up here, talk about the stage, and we saw a little bit of it there. So Christmassy. It's got to be a fun place to perform.
Oh, it's so fun. And throughout the show, it actually gets decorated for Christmas. So it sort of starts bare, and as the show goes on, and it's really fun. Like, we have people coming in and decorating it. We ooh and ah every time the lights go on and the candles get lit. Like, it never gets old. It's so fun.
Well, again, the play is going on through the end of the month, correct? When's the last showing?
December 30th.
December 30th. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming in today. Congratulations, and I'll be eager to see where this goes after it's had its run across the country this holiday season.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so much. And again, there are the details, the website, and the phone number to go ahead and get your tickets.